Hello. This Middle East report will only cover one topic. The Jews are leaving Europe. I want to discuss with you the result of a study conducted in late 2020. It showed that the number of Jews living in Europe is at its lowest level in 950 years. This is since the year 1170. And the report indicates that the pace of reduction in Europe is increasing. The study indicated that 150 years ago, that's in 1870, 88% of all the Jews in the world lived in Europe. Today, that proportion is 9%. The Jews have a term that they use to describe migration to Israel. The word is aliyah, and it is used to refer to Jewish people returning home to their promised land, Israel, from other nations. This trip is identified as making aliyah. Here is a more recent group of 140 making aliyah from France. The word aliyah literally means to ascend. It was used in biblical times and in the scriptures as a reference to Jewish pilgrims ascending to Jerusalem for the three major biblical feasts, that is, Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles. 15 of the Psalms are called Psalms of Ascent, Psalm 120 through 134. Pilgrims would read or sing these psalms as they ascended to Jerusalem and the Temple Mount. Today, the process of making aliyah is seen as having a spiritual meaning beyond the physical act of returning to the land. A typical prophecy about aliyah in the end times is found in Amos 9 verse 14. It says, I will bring back the captives of my people Israel. They shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and drink the wine from them. They shall make gardens and eat the fruit of them. This is only one of many such passages that speak of the end time return of the Jews to their land. Now, when God repeats himself and says something more than once, we should take notice of that. Why? Because it's clearly a concept or something that is of special importance to him. God in his word declares his intention of bringing his people home from all the nations where they have been scattered, and he does this 64 times. Ezekiel 36:24 says, For I will take you from among the nations, gather you out of all countries, and bring you into your own land. If we look at history of the last 2,000 years from a biblical perspective, clearly the event with the greatest historic and prophetic significance was the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The second most significant event was certainly what took place on the day of Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit fell on the 120 in the upper room in Acts 2, and the church was born. I believe the third most significant event that has happened is the return of the Jews to their own land, their aliyah, foretold by God 64 times. The modern movement of aliyah began in 1881, accelerated with the First Zionist Congress in 1897, and then the Balfour Declaration in 1917. Jeremiah 23 verse 3 reads, But I will gather the remnant of my flock out of the countries where I have driven them, and bring them back to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. The Hebrew prophet spoke of a day when God would sovereignly gather his children back to their land. It would not be because of anything that they had done, but rather as a witness to the Gentile nations and to vindicate his name. Yes, the greatest prophetic sign of the last days is without exception the return of the Jews to the land of Israel. No single time period since the days of Jesus has seen more biblical prophecies come to pass as the one in which you and I are living in right now. So, keep looking up. Christ could break through the clouds any moment.